Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you? I hope you are all doing well and staying safe. Today I am showing and playing with makeup, and I've done this green look. It's all green, and I've never actually worn a full-blown green eye before, so this was something else. Okay, so this is my bare skin. I really just wanted to take a moment to play with the greens that I have in my collection, mainly from the Vise Art Koi palette and the Bohemian Dream palette. I haven't utilized the greens in either of these palettes at all, and so I wanted to see if I can come up with some type of look today using the greens. Usually I do a bright orange with like a pop of green in the inner corners if I use a green, but I haven't actually used a green as the sole focus of the eye look. So we're gonna try something today. I don't really have anything in mind, but I'm gonna take you from start to finish, including my foundations and all. So I'm gonna be starting out with the Milani Prime Light Primer. This is a great primer if you want something glowy, but also oil controlling. Okay, so I'm going to be using two brushes today, one for the darker foundation and one for the lighter foundation. And the two that I'm going to be using, this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I have it in the shade 440, and it's 440 Natural Rose, even though it's not a pink tone. It's actually yellow based, and it matches my skin really well. So if you are somewhere near my skin tone, the 440 matches really well. And then I'm gonna be taking a darker foundation. It's just a touch darker. It's like my tan shade, but it's not something that I'd put all over my face because it's too tan for the center of my face. But this is the Pat McGrath foundation in light medium. So I'm gonna take it in the palm of my hand and I'm going to dot it all over my face. So I like to do this first before blending or just applying the foundation directly on the brush. And the reason why is because even though brushes distribute really well, a bit of the foundation still gets absorbed into the bristles. And so I want to make sure that I'm utilizing as much of the foundation as possible and not using too much product because I'm not trying to get a cakey look. And spreading it out with your fingers first just kind of allows for a good distribution around the areas that you actually need it. And I'm going to be taking my Morphe flat top brush E31, just a flat top, and I'm going to be blending. I really like the L'Oreal foundation. This is a really great find. It was hyped up last year, but I just didn't get around to getting it because I was really into wanting to be a minimalist, which obviously didn't work out because my spending habits are as terrible as ever. Okay, so it's kind of hard to tell right now as I'm dotting that this foundation is darker, but trust me, it matches my tan forehead, and I sort of just use this like a makeshift contour situation. I don't really use too much bronzer or contour in general, and so I just use a darker foundation to do this. And then taking Jacqueline buffing brush, and I'm just going to gently buff this on the areas that I would apply my contour. Okay, so we're gonna go into concealer. I'm gonna take my Milk concealer. This is so amazing. I'm so glad that I purchased this. It was a suggestion from Julia Adams, MUA here on YouTube. And this is one of her favorite concealers, and I just went and got it. I'm taking the Instant Age Rewind. This is in the shade Light, They recently changed the packaging, so it's not marketed specifically for under eyes, and now they just call it a corrector multi-use concealer. I took the sponge tip off because I think it's so gross. Gonna just use the flat brush. I normally would use my sponge, but I don't want to wash it. Like, it's clean. Like, I don't want to wash it after I use it, so I'm just gonna be using this brush because when the foundation dries on the brush, I can kind of just wipe it off with a towel. I know that sounds so gross, but I promise I do wash my brushes. I was editing my empties video, and like I said earlier, the amount of ums and ahs that I was saying, it really disgusted me. And I know that's such a dramatic word to describe how I talk, but you know, for a video that supposedly was 30 minutes, I cut it down to 20 minutes. So from 30 or 35 minutes to 20 minutes. And those extra 10 to 15 minutes was just me saying and ah, because that's how much I cut out. It was ridiculous. I really need to be a better communicator. But I just find that when I do videos where I talk about products specifically instead of like a walkthrough tutorial or something, it's more difficult than when I just do a chit chat, get ready with me. Just gently pat it out because this eye is a little bit more creasy. I'm gonna take a light sand. This is a perfect skin tone shade for me, and I'm gonna be concealing some areas where, you know, I want a little bit of extra coverage. The Fit Me concealer from Maybelline, I'm actually gonna show you right now. This is in the color Wheat, number 22. I think this is a new shade, but this works really well as well. It's got a nice yellow undertone, and I just use that for the outer portions of my face because it is a touch darker than light sand. I know it looks a little bit light, but I promise when it blends out, and also when I'm not using foundation, the shade works really great for my natural skin. And I can just wear that concealer out without having to worry about it looking pink, which is usually the case with most concealers that I use. They'll look great when I do it inside, but when I step outside, it looks a little blotchy. And even though my acne is covered, it's covered, but it's not my skin color. Okay, so I've let those kind of sit for a little bit. I don't know if you can tell now that it is a little bit darker. So a tip is to use a slightly darker concealer when you're trying to cover up really dark spots. Look at that. And I'm really gently patting it in with this brush. Really gently. So I'm just gonna be taking my NARS powder. This is my favorite. I even hit pan on it. That's how much I love it. And I'm gonna be taking this brush. This is from the MUA Life, and I just swirl it, tap it, and press inner and outer corner. You can even use a sponge to do this, but again, I don't want to wash my sponge. It's a really nice powder. Just gonna pop a little bit on my eyelids. And then I'm gonna apply my Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm just gonna brush up my brows or any products out of my brows really quickly. And I'm just gonna quickly do my brows. I'm gonna speed through this because it's really nothing special. I've been really lazy to do my eyebrows lately, so I mean, it's really boring. I literally just use 2 products and then I'm done with it. Taking the Benefit Brow Gel. I'm gonna take my Natasha Denona Mini Glam palette. This is such a pretty palette. I love it so much. And I'm gonna be taking the JH30 brush. I'm gonna go into this shade. This is a very, very, very light brown shade. For tanner skin tones, this is gonna be your skin tone shade, but on me, it is a very, very, very soft brown shade. And I'm just popping this as a base color and transition color all over my lid. I think that's blown out enough. I'm kind of nervous, guys, because I don't know what to expect from this look. Okay, so I think for my base shadow, I'm gonna go into the Koi palette into this beigey shade, just as a base. By the way, this is not how the Koi palette originally came in. It didn't come in this rainbow format. I actually rearranged the shadows so that it works better for my brain, and I just like everything to be sorted out. So I'm just gonna take that beige shade and pop that on my lid. Look at that, it's so pretty. Oh my goodness. They're so easy to work with. I think I'm gonna go into, I'll go into this shade right here. This green shade. It's so green, look at that. Whoa, okay. Let's do this. Just popping it all over my lid and slightly above the crease. Ooh, that's such a pretty shade. It's less intimidating when it's on the eyes. And then I'm gonna take my Sephora brush number 15. This is also just a shadow brush, a small shadow brush. I'm dipping into the dark green, and I'm gonna use this to deepen up my crease. Slightly flicking it up into a winged shape. Now I'm taking another just small shadow brush. This is the JH44. I'm gonna go into the Koi palette into this very interesting green shade here. I know it doesn't look too interesting on the pan, but it's such a weird shade. It's got like silver, gold, and a little bit of turquoise flecks in it. So I'm gonna pop this on my outer lower lash line. And I'm going to be taking a champagne shadow brush. This is a Pew, whatever you want to call this. It's their all-day lasting shadow stick. This is, I don't know, SBE01. It's just a champagne shimmery shade. And then I'm going to be taking this small detail brush. Going into the Koi palette, I'm going to be taking this peachy shade. This one is also very interesting. It's peachy, but it has like a yellowy green flecks, which will go really nicely with this look. How curious. So interesting. It's not even showing up. Interesting. Wow. Okay, this is blending in so nicely because of that green flecks. So it's really pulling green now, but it's a duochrome, so it depends on how you turn your head. What an interesting shade. Do you see that? I know it looks really dramatic when I turn because it's sticking onto that cream shadow. So interesting. But in the light, like in natural light, it doesn't look dramatic at all, like this shade in particular. I think because of that green flecks, it's not looking the way I want it to, so I'm actually going to be taking the orange shade in the palette. This is just an orange shade. It's not like too pigmented or anything, and I'm going to pop it on top here because I really like how orange and green look together. And because the first shade that we put down has, has a apricot base. It's gonna blend in with that shadow really nicely. I'm actually gonna just go and reach back into the mini glam palette for this champagne shade. I'm gonna pop a little bit into the inner corner because that apricot shade is not giving me the pizzazz that I want, that little pop. I'm gonna be taking my Milani eye pencil. This is in Moss Boss, and run it on my lower rim. And now I'm gonna curl my lashes and finish off with some mascara, and hopefully that pulls the look together because it's looking really strong right now. Oh, you know what? Let's finish off the rest of the face first. I'm gonna take my Pat McGrath powder, the same loose powder, and then I'm gonna take my powder brush. This is the Morphe E1. I'm just gonna take some, tap it into the lid, and then I'm gonna gently buff, like sort of a buff roll. This is probably the first powder that's actually matched my skin. Taking my Hourglass Ambient brush with, I said this was dim light last time, but it's actually diffused light. This is the soft yellow powder, and it's really great for brightening. And I just use that under my eyes and as a nose bridge highlight. I'm gonna be taking my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. This is their Ghost palette, and I'm gonna be using the actual dim light shade, which is the shade. And it's kind of a peachy, champagne-y shade. And just because I don't have a contouring shade for my nose, I'm gonna be going back to the mini glam palette into that light shade and popping that as my nose contour. Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna go into the mascara. Okay, let's just go back into my trusty old telescopic because I need a dramatic lash today for this look. Trusty. Look at that, so pretty. Okay, well, since I did that on this eye, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye, just so that we can get as similar a look as possible. I'm gonna be taking my Sephora retractable liner. This is the shade Brown. I'm gonna tight line my upper tight line because our lashes aren't as dramatic as we wanted them to be. And then this has been my go-to combo. It's the Matte Velvet Lip Pencil by NARS in the shade Bad Girl, and I'm gonna line my lips with this because it's more or less my exact lip shade. And then my 3CE matte lip color in Muss. You know what? My face is looking a little round, so we're just gonna chisel a little bit with the Fenty Matchstick in Amber. I'm literally cutting inches off of my face. Imagine I took photos like this, you would never know. And that is the completed look. This is definitely not what I typically go for. I think if I was to change this look up, I would probably use a deeper brown shade and incorporate it into my outer V, but because I really wanted to experiment with an all green look, I just went full on green and just decided to do a full green look. And it doesn't look bad. I think it just needs more depth in some places. And so, I don't know. It's not bad. I think it would also work really well if I put on a pair of falsies. So let me actually put on a pair and then we will see how it looks. Okay, wow. So this is definitely a look that requires falsies because the falsies just pulled the look together. They're not really on super, you know, where it's supposed to be, but this is just to get a sense of what it could look like if you were to wear falsies, and it looks 100 times better, like 100%. The dark lashes really juxtaposes with the really monotoned look of green, and it just adds that depth that you need for something this dramatic. So yeah, wow. You know what? I like this look now that I have lashes on, but I don't like to depend on lashes. If you're curious about these lashes, they are the Ardell Wispies. These were my go-to for as long as I can remember. They are super long, and they're super wispy. And if you notice a gap within my lashes, it's because I don't wear eyeliner. So this looks pretty good. I like it. Would I wear this now? Yes, I would wear the green eyeshadow by itself, exactly like this, if I was wearing eyelashes. But if I wasn't wearing eyelashes, then that's definitely not a look that I would go for. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment below, and if you have any other suggestions or if you're interested in seeing me do any other looks with the palettes, the colorful palettes that I have, please leave a comment down below. I also have a rainbow palette that if you're interested in seeing what type of looks I come up with, again, leave a comment down below. And again, give this video a like. Please come back and watch the next one, and thank you so much for watching this one. Peace. That was really long-winded, by the way, but anyways, peace.
How you like that? She a little bad. It's a little, yeah. Dang, girl, you got me head over heels with it. Hey, danger. You out here dressed to kill with it.